Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back again. This week we are featuring the crew that makes up Treasures in America. It's founded by Timothy Draper. And so today we have Mr. David Graham. So Dave Graham, welcome to the show. I know you're from Nevada.
Correct.
And you're part of this team, which is based out of St. George, Utah. That's not too far away though, right?
No, about an hour.
Okay, cool. So tell us what your role on the team is.
I am the lead scuba diver. I have a lot of tricks in the bag, as you might call it. I got military experience, I got security experience, I got wilderness instructor, but scuba is it. That's the passion.
Now I heard a couple of the other guys are actually going to get certified also to support you in this, is that right?
Correct. Both Tim and Sean are, which is going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome because then you don't have to dive alone and you're going to have...
You always want to have somebody down there. Most of my experience was from guitar. Most of my dives were in the Persian Gulf. There ain't no trees or anything growing up there, but some of the places that we might be diving in might have bushes and trees, and if you get hung up in them, it's kind of really nice to have a backup to get you out of those little jams.
Were you a diver in the military?
No.
Okay.
I found that passion when I was doing contract work for the government in the Middle East.
You know what I really like? The way you just said, I found that passion, because that's a conversation that I sometimes have on the show about whether your passion is something you were born with and you've always known that you have it, like if it's something you'd rediscover or if it's something you discover in the first place.
Mine was, I love swimming. I was out at the beach one day and I saw this gentleman having his students learn about scuba diving, and I walked over and asked how I could get involved in that, and he gave me his card and away I went. And
that's when you learned how to scuba dive?
Correct.
So how long ago did you become part of this team?
About 8-9 months ago, almost a year. It's kind of funny how I kind of became part of the team. Tim actually was stuck, I guess, in a rut, and he had a map that had symbols on it, but he really didn't know what was going on.
Where does he get these maps that he comes up with? That's what I want to know.
It's a surprise.
It's all a secret. It's all a secret.
It's a secret. And he asked me if I knew anything about the Freemasons, any of the symbols, and I was kind of standoffish. You don't want to tell all of your secrets and everything. And I was like, well, maybe.
Were you surprised that this guy had a map with symbols on it, or was this just an everyday thing here?
He kind of talked to it about it prior to the day in question. And he brought it and he was like, can you look at it? And I'm like, sure. And I glanced at it and I'm like, handed it back to him. I'm like, yep, there's symbols on there. And he was like, you didn't even study it, you know. And I was like, well, let me give you a little tidbit about myself. And I said, I'm a master mason in the Freemasons. And he was like, what? That's nuts. And then he kind of went off and did his couple of houses, I guess.
Tell everybody what that means, a master mason in the Freemasons.
I can't.
Okay. I can't even talk to everybody about nothing.
That is a secret society, and once you belong, there's the secrets, and you have that vow. If certain questions are asked, you don't answer.
Is there a question I can't ask? Can you help a sister out?
I am a master mason. I can tell you that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so he walks away with this map.
So then a couple weeks later, we were talking, and I said, Tim, do you ever go out on your little adventures and end up like at a river's edge, lake edge, or anything like that, and you just have to stop? And he's like, why, yes. And I was like, well, let me tell you a little tidbit about myself. I said, I'm an advanced diver. And I kind of talking with him over the weeks and stuff, and I was getting really interested in what he was bringing up with history and his passion. And I was hoping to give him a little bit of information about myself that he might take me along on one of them, one of his little adventures, and go, hey, I can go into this lake. And there was a couple other conversations that we had, and he was like, that's it, I need you on my team, would you do it? And I was like, sure. And that's how.
So not every adventure that you guys go on or hunt that you go on involves diving, right?
Correct.
So do you still go on the ones that don't involve diving?
Yes.
And like as a support role?
Support role, the Joker, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about you, Dave,
the
is that you're the
humor.
Joker in the group.
It's not about, oh, we're going to go to the lake and the people that doesn't scuba dive don't go. Or like in Sean's case, you know, rappelling up or down mountain cliff. We're a team, we're like family. Of course you're going to go, and I'm going to support any of these guys, whatever their role is. You know, we're starting to learn each other's trades and see how we can help them out, be safe, and just be there for them. And that's the big part, is just be supportive, because if we didn't go scuba diving on all the adventures, I ain't going to say, well, you know, you guys aren't going scuba diving, I ain't going this time, or whatever the case may be. We're all tight-knit group that we're there to help each other out.
What is your greatest challenge, or did you have any hesitations joining the group?
No real big hesitations. I do have some medical issues, but getting out and just hiking, getting out moving instead of, quote, quote, the couch potato that likes to see stuff on TV and go, you know, I'd really like to do that, but no. I think all of us that are on the team are more of, hey, if we help each other, we can get to the top of the mountain. Mm-hmm. And just the physical aspect, just getting out, walking. Everybody can go out and walk and hike, and it's great for you. You know, good for the old kicker there.
So that's great though, I mean, because that's the thing, you know, everybody thinks that once they get to 50 or they get to 55 or 60 that, you know, their lives are done, but it seems like you guys are just starting the best part, the most exciting part.
We are. You know, you see it almost in every town. You see the 55 and older communities, and most of them, their biggest ordeal is getting out on the weekends and go play bingo. And then you have some of us that are adventurous, you know, like Mesquite. There's quite a few older communities, but they get together, they go out and do ATVs, and sure, it might not be that 60-mile trek up the mountain, but they get out and they explore. They live life. You know, they're done working, their kids are out of the house, and they don't want to stay home and shrivel up. So the biggest thing to the older viewers is, don't be that couch potato and sit there and, man, I should have done that when I was younger. You're still young. You're as old as you feel. So, and I'm like 18, so.
What have you learned about yourself, though, through all of this?
Ooh. Probably patience. Like I said earlier, I got military experience. Once I retired from the military, I did another 10 years over in the Middle East as private security for the government. And being over there, you do stuff at a drop of a hat. Stuff happens so quickly. Here, you're not going to find treasure the first day. And if you believe that you're going to find treasure the first day, you're going to fail. And then you're going to, oh, I didn't find anything. Find yourself. But the big obstacle is patience. Even my wife was like, usually you get really mad at what you're doing. And I was like, is there anything I can change about it? The sun's going to come up, the sun's going to go down.
And the thing is, too, that you have this whole other group of people that has to be patient with you. You're all being patient together.
And we motivate everybody probably all the time. You know, you'll see, even when we're hiking, you know, you're like, man, it's hot. I need a break. Oh, it's just right over the hill, buddy. Yeah. Have some water, you can do it, you know, and you get over there and you're like, wow, I didn't know that, you know, the scenery is probably the best thing. And of course, the company that you hold is awesome. I mean, the group of guys, we kind of know each other a little bit, probably not the best, but you know, if you're down and out, something's bugging you, you know, they'll take you off in the woods by themselves and we'll have a motivational speak and you're like, you know, I can do this. I want to do this. And next day you wake up, like on our first adventure, I think Tim mentioned at Phoenix, woke up, these guys were sleeping. I grabbed him. I'm like, Tim, you gotta come outside and see this. You know, and he was all frantic. Oh, what's outside? Comes out, the sun, it's up, we need to get going.
So how would you say being a part of this team has enriched your life?
Just the freedom to go do it. And the learning experience, you know, Tim teaches us about the history that is almost forgotten, that, you know, the Spanish were here. And you're like, Spanish was up this far? No, you weren't. Well, here's a Spanish sword. You know, and you just get that goosebump feeling like, holy cow, we can, oh. Now you want to go out and hunt, you know, but there's certain steps before you do that. You have to do your research, what Tim has, you know, with Sean and everybody. They're like, here's the paperwork, here's the proof. It's out there. We just have to be motivated to go find it.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite memory so far? And I know you guys have been together for less than a year, but what's so far your favorite memory?
Watching Tim blow up his three-tiered mattress that is huge. It's like a king size, stands about this high, and he's over there just pumping it up. And it was like, we're in the woods, but I like to be comfortable.
When you said blow up, I thought like with a bomb.
No, air. I mean, it's a mattress. Just, it was like.
And he had a pump.
Yes. It was like.
So what are you saying? Tim's a little bit of a princess?
Not on camera.
Thank you so much for talking with us today. And you know what? I will not be surprised if there's a movie made about you guys eventually. I just think that you have fabulous personalities, each with such a specific, important role, so wanting to go out there and just experience life. That, I feel, is so motivational in general to everybody, because when people hear what you're doing, they want to do something of their own that makes their life, you know, more worth living.
I see your shirt. It says, motivate me.
That's right.
And that's the whole key. Don't sit down and watch TV. Find your passion, find your love, get motivated. Even if you get up in the weekend and go hiking or take the dog for a long walk, something that will inspire you and motivate you just to get up and, you know, if it's cutting grass, you know, it doesn't have to be finding the treasure, the gold, the silver. The treasure is making bonds with people, finding somebody and living life. Treasures come in so many different colors of the rainbow. You just have to pick your color and go for it.
Treasure is what inspires you. That's what I'm taking away from my time with you guys.
Yes, just not finding the big stash, but the history behind it. You know, we're not all about, if it was so easy for treasure hunters to go out and dig in your backyard and find a cache of gold, everybody would do it. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, patience, and the motivation to do the research, you know, be safe about it, and go do it. Just like you. I mean, what inspired you to travel across 50 states to interview
People about their passions?
Yes.
The exact same thing that keeps you guys together. The motivation to inspire people. That's it. One goal. That's it.
And that's living
It's everything
life.
all four of you said.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
And I talk to you, 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 and we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate, we try to relate. This is my breakthrough. Whoa, said now.